thank my honourable friend, the member for Rutland and Melton, for securing this important debate. Because for me in Devon, it is home to 8% of agricultural holdings in England, a full 514,000 hectares, of which 92,000 are in my North Devon constituency, which boasts 1,442 agricultural holdings. Our Devon farms are relatively small, with an average size of just 60 hectares, compared to an England average of 85, magnifying some of the challenges that they currently face. As my local NFU details, as small businesses and consumers, farmers are grappling with spiralling costs both in their businesses and the household. Agricultural inflation is running higher than consumer inflation. DEFRA's figures show it is at 28.4% for all inputs in the 12 months to April 2022. In North Devon, most farm businesses involve livestock of some sort or another, and the welfare of those livestock are always a primary concern. So farmers are grappling with how to afford the feed and bedding for the coming winter. Nearly all farmhouses are off the gas grid, so rely on heating oil in the main, which has seen massive spikes and is not protected by the price cap that the electricity market has. Farmhouses in some cases are listed buildings, making it very difficult to make them energy efficient. And like others in rural areas, they are reliant on the motor vehicle to get to shops, schools and other facilities. So the massive increase in fuel costs has a higher impact on those that live in rural areas. And whilst I do not think that the solution to this is increasing rural fuel duty relief, a very specific tax relief that is only applied to Linton and Lynmouth in my rural constituency, as it is related to the distance from the refinery, I do think we need to look for affordable and green solutions to tackling our reliance on the fossil fuel-powered vehicles in more rural parts of the country, as it is not right that one set of consumers should pay less for their fuel, as it distorts the market and results in people driving to fill up further than they need to. We need to ensure that that fuel duty cut already given reaches the pump, and that is why there is already a Consumer and Markets Authority investigation into this. But doing nothing is also not a solution. I personally would prefer to see a further fuel duty cut, but until we are confident this reaches consumers, recognise this may not deliver the savings we wish. We urgently need better charging infrastructure to enable more of us to switch to electric vehicles and look at other creative ways to reduce the cost of transport. As in my North Devon constituency, buses are few and far between, and clearly are of no help at all with the transport of livestock or crops. I recognise that half the basic farm payment has been brought forward, but farmers need more. This is just cash flow management. The uncertainty of much change, with new schemes coming online without any security about their revenue streams, with such a surge in cost, makes leaving fields fallow preferable. At a time of food insecurity, we need to ensure every piece of fertile land is used for sustainable food production. Yeah. Which is why I am so exasperated to find that a major national landowner has evicted an organic dairy farmer in my constituency for rewilding. I know we need biodiversity. I support biodiversity, but this should not be at the expense of food production. We need sustainable farming, and I urge the Minister to ensure that these unintended consequences of DEFRA policy are rapidly fixed to prevent further evictions and ensure that our productive and fertile land is used appropriately.
Will my honourable friend give way on that point? I thank my honourable friend for the point she's making there about protecting good quality agricultural land to feed our nation. Does she also agree, therefore, that there needs to be a national strategy around solar plants? Because it is absolutely wrong that we have so many solar national infrastructure projects going to the government, but no national oversight as to where they're all happening. We are going to end up with masses of our land covered over in solar plants, reducing our agricultural capabilities, not least in Rutland, where there is a proposal for a 2,100-acre solar plant in England's smallest county, which is going to cover over good quality agricultural land, also built with Uyghur blood slave labour. But that's another side point. But would she agree that there should be a national strategy on this?
I thank my honourable friend for her intervention. I agree entirely. We do need to work out how our land is used, because not only is it solar plants that we are currently tackling, we have the issue of growing fuel where we could be growing crops, and we do need to really look at rebalancing our land use to ensure that things are actually going in the right direction. And And so I do hope that we can look at preventing further evictions. And also, whilst I do welcome the new support and investment schemes that are coming to our farmers, as do they, many are far too complex. The Minister has already met with my local enterprise partnership and NFU, who are seeking help in setting up an advisory body to ensure that farmers don't have to write to their MPs to try and weave their way through the Bdefra bureaucracy. And I hope the Minister will take this opportunity to help secure the small amount of funding, just 250,000, that Devon farmers are asking for to test this scheme of having an advisory board to help their farmers through the transition from the old payment schemes to the new, where we're dealing with so many small businesses. Just that little leg up will enable them to actually achieve what they are driving to and what we want them to achieve. Can we also slow the pace of change between the new and the old systems, in recognition of the unique role our farmers play at this time of dramatically increased energy prices, alongside growing concerns about global food security? We know that energy prices, in the main, are being driven upwards by Putin's vile invasion of Ukraine. And we all support the investment into our brave Ukrainian friends' war efforts. But withdrawing one payment before its replacement arrives is counterproductive. As I said in my maiden speech, farmers are indeed the custodians of the countryside, and we need to look after them at this difficult time. Yes, some farm gate prices have jumped, but costs have also escalated beyond all recognition. We can all do our bit and support our farmers and buy British, which is high quality and locally sourced. We have dug for victory before, and we need to look to do the same again and support our fabulous farmers to ensure they can do what they want to do and farm sustainably and improve our food security.